Hello and welcome back to Elite Geospatial, and today we're going to be looking at how to process this data. Now what we want to do here is that we want to convert this data, which is a daily data, right? We downloaded this from the now website NOAA. Alright, so it's a Ghana data covering the whole of Ghana. Alright, so we have these are the observation stations, and this data are arranged daily. That's why you're seeing the same coordinate here, 6.1, 0.117, and then the same elevation throughout. So it's a 30 days of observation. This is December of 2014 rather. Yeah, then we enter 2015, January 4th. So this data are arranged on a daily basis, but we want to have it in a monthly and yearly format. So those with programming skill can just use Python or MATLAB script to achieve this by just writing some complex code, since I know Sabi. So some complex code or some simple code, anyone that seems better based on your level of understanding. Alright, so but we that don't have programming skill, please let's gather here. This is our video. All right, so we're going to use this Microsoft Excel to process this data. You can see that the data is arranged in daily format, so it's not every day that rain falls. You agree with me? So these are the observations of it. Some days have no data and all that, and this is temperature data. The AV, that's the average temperature. Then we have the maximum and the minimum all in one place, so you can see them. Now we want to arrange this data to cover the whole month and the whole year. All right, so you will first control A, just like you see me do. Now once you control A, you go to insert, and then here you're going to go to pivot table or anyone that makes you understand. And what did they say about the right thing now here? They say easily arrange and summarize complex data in a pivot table. FYI, you can double click a value to see which details value makes up the summarized table. All right, so if I click on this pivot table, it's going to come up with a pivot table from table orange, like going to come up with a dialog box, and this dialog box consists all the entire data of this. You can see this is the name of the file, 3760389, and then all the other functions that I have no idea of. Now choose where you want the pivot table to be placed. Now the pivot table can be placed on the new worksheet, that is, it's not going to be within here, or it can be placed on an existing worksheet. That is, just open a new sheet here and place it. So let's do that. So the location is this. So when we click OK, it's going to open. It said inserting your pivot table here will result in overwriting of, oh sorry, let's do that again. So let's put it on a new worksheet. So click on OK. So it's going to come like this, though it is still in this same worksheet. You can see it now, but just like open a new worksheet beside it. All right, so this is what you're going to see. All right, the pivot table and all that. So what we will first be looking at is the date, because the date is a daily data, so date is what we'll be prioritizing here. So once I click on date, you will see that the date comes from January 1, 2014 down to 2024, and there are some kind of drop box by its side with quarter 1, 2, 3, 4 and all that. Now but the table is going to be summarized as this, but we don't want quarter. So if you go back now, you will not see quarter again. You're only going to see January to December. Okay, so because we only add month and year, so you come down here, we have column, we have rows. So the rows will be for your year, or if you want the year to be by this side and your month to be by this side, it's still fine. So all you will do is that you're going to carry year to column, and you see that your year will be spread across here, and your month will be spread across here. So it depending on how you want it to be. Okay, so I'm going to carry month to this side, to the column. Okay, so you see that the months now spread across here. So any data we release now will be summarized based on month and day, month and year. All right, so it's going to be January, February, March, April, May, June, December to December, and then we're going to have a grand total pending if it's an average or if it's a sum. Okay, so take note. Now, first in our list is the precipitation, which is our rainfall. So once I click on it, automatically it's going to generate PIM. All of them has been summarized into this. But we need to come and check what is it. Is it a temperature? Sorry, is it a sum or so? It's on the sum now. So if you want to change anything, we click on the sum. We click on these values here and click value field settings. So we have here all of them. We have sum, count, average, maximum, minimum, product, and what have you. But for this monthly data, we are going on the sum for precipitation. So I click on OK. All right. So now it has summed up the rainfall in January 2014, 2015, 16, 17, 18 down to 2024. And then it has also summed for the rest of the month. And then this is a grand total, it's a sum. All right, it's a sum, this grand total. Now, what we want to add to this is our temperature, because they are working together, because at the end we want to use it for trend analysis. So you click on the average temperature. Now this is coming as a sum, but that's not what I want. So I will come to this value and click on it, go to value settings, and this time around I'm going to make it average. So once I click on average, it automatically in the speed of light calculates the average. And then we also have even the total average of the average temperature per year for the period of 10 years. So once you have this, you just click copy everything, and you just do Control N. So you Control N and you do Control V. Oh, sorry, I have to go back and copy again because it has Control C and Control V. You have your data here. Now you remember that the initial data had coordinate, but what we're doing is not having XYZ, so that's why we're not really going to bring the XYZ here, because if we want to bring the XYZ here, the XYZ were termed on an average, on daily basis of the same station. So it's going to, let's just do something about it so that you see what I'm saying. So let's leave this first and let's double click and see. Okay, so it's back. Now once this is back, this is what I want to show you. If you come up to the latitude and longitude and you make selection of it, it's going to now calculate this coordinate as a sum or as an average. So let's see if we are going to do an average of it and see if it's going to give us the same coordinate system. Then I think we could go with it. You see, it's giving us -1 point blah 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 blah. Then let's see for the latitude. But I think if you do the average, it should give us exactly what was already there. But it's not giving us that. If you check, it's not really giving us that. So at the end of the day, we don't really need this on our data, because this is not really representing any location, because it has averaged and summed it. So at the end of the day, it's not really going to identify our location. All right, so it has swapped everything into just 10 years, and then we have 15 stations. So this is why you shouldn't include it. You should just find another way of putting your data in terms of trying to go and plot it on ArcGIS and any other software. So even if you add the station now, the station is going to be on summarize and all that. So at the end of the day, you just pick the data that are important, which is the temperature data and all that, right? So this is what I want you to know on this video, that you can actually calculate your average monthly, your daily data into a monthly and subsequently a yearly data. Now you remember that we do the temperature on an average of a sum of the month. Now if we want to have a yearly average, we have to do that calculation. So if I click here and I go to insert, right? Oh, sorry, I go to formulas, and I'm going to use recently used because I've been using them that much. So if I'm going to click on average, so it's going to bring out this. So this average, I'm going to make selections of all the average, sorry, the sum of our temperature, right? So I'm going to start with here. So I'm going to make that selection. Just follow me. You hold Control and you begin to select just the sum. I'm not supposed to select this temperature, so let's cancel and do that again. Alright, go to average and then I'll make that selections again. Hold Control. So if I click on enter, I should have an average here. So with this, I'm just going to do down like this. So it's going to do an average of the rainfall per year. So we have an average of rainfall ranges from 600 to 857. This is a total of this, so you can be putting this as part of it. So this is not supposed, so let's delete this. All right, so this is not part of it. All right, so we only have 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11. That's 11 years. All right, so we have this as our final temperature, and then we also have this as our final. So this is what we're going to use for our yearly to determine our yearly trend, and we can use this to determine our monthly trend between the years and all that. So basically this data has been processed in just, I don't know whether it's up to 10 minutes anyway, but because of the detailed explanation I can do this under 5 minutes, but it has to be when you know. All right, so thank you for tuning in and watching this video. I will see you in the next video.